In this video, I'm going to show you how to do what is called an unbounded hatch. So let's take this drawing for an example, and I have a ground line right here. And I want to show that this is earth underneath this ground. Using a typical hatch, the way you would normally do a hatch, I would need to create an enclosed surface. So I would need to, let's say, go from here I'm going to draw, just a square, and it's going to go back here. And then I'm going to hatch, and I'm going to pick an internal point, and it's going to create that earth surface. Now what I don't like about this is, it's a square, you can see the lines, it doesn't look like a surface. And then the other thing is, this ground is infinite. The earth doesn't just go this deep. If you wanted to make this accurate, this would go, all the way down to the very bottom page and beyond there. So what we're going to do instead of this method is we're going to do what's called an unbounded hatch. So to do an unbounded hatch, you go down to your command and you do the negative or minus sign and then hatch and then hit enter. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my properties. So I can either select properties right here, or I can type in P and then enter. So I'm going to do P, enter. Now it's going to enter the last pattern you used. Obviously the last pattern I used was earth. But if that's not there, or if you want to change that, you would just type it in and then hit enter. For earth, I usually use a 0.5 scale. You may need to adjust this up or down depending on your drawing scale. And you can always do that afterwards as well. So I'm going to type in 0.5, enter, and then the angle. For earth, I usually use a 45-degree angle, so I'm going to type in 45 and hit enter. So now I have done all of my properties. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my boundary. So you can either come down here and click draw boundary, or I can enter W and then enter. Now, do I want it to retain the polyline boundary? Since I want this to be an unbounded hatch, I'm not going to have it retain that polyline boundary. So I'm going to put N for no, and then enter. So now it's saying specify start point. So I'm going to start drawing where I want this hatch to be. So I usually like it to be kind of, wavy and some straight areas up and down. It's all personal preference. I'm gonna come all the way over here, and then when I can either come over here and connect this first one, or I can just type C for close and enter, and it's going to close that polyline. So once I've closed that, I'm gonna hit enter for accept, and I'm gonna hit enter again to enter the hatch. So what it does is it creates a hatch in that polyline, but you see there's no line down here. So it's implying that it's infinite, that it just continues. So you're able to show that it's earth and that it's continuous. So that's how you use an unbounded hatch. Again, most of the time I use this on ground lines, but I'm sure there's other uses for it.